Nobody tells you how lonely growing up can be. When you're young, you think getting older means having more freedom, more money, more choices, more places to go, more people to meet. You imagine adulthood as something exciting, but nobody tells you that one day, you'll wake up and realize that the people you once talked to every single day have become strangers. Nobody tells you that some friendships don't end with an argument. They just slowly disappear. 1 unanswered message becomes 2 becomes a week. And eventually, you stop sending messages at all, and somehow, you both become people who used to know each other. Maybe. That's the part of growing up nobody prepared us for. You don't always lose people because something terrible happened. Sometimes, life simply happens. When we were younger, friendship was easy. You didn't need to schedule a meeting 3 weeks in advance. You didn't need to check someone's calendar. You didn't need to ask if they were free. You simply walked outside. You knocked on a door. You called their name, and there they were. You could spend an entire afternoon doing absolutely nothing, talking about stupid things, laughing at jokes that weren't even funny, walking around with no destination, sharing a drink, playing games, sitting somewhere for hours, just because you didn't want to go home yet. Back then, we thought those moments would last forever. We didn't know they were memories being created in real time. We didn't know that one day we'd look back at those ordinary afternoons and wish we could live just one of them again. When you're young, you don't appreciate ordinary moments. You think the important moments will announce themselves. You think you'll know when something is the last time, the last summer with your best friend, the last time everyone sits together, the last time you laugh until your stomach hurts, the last time you see someone without knowing that you won't see them again for years, or maybe ever. But life doesn't tell you. There is no warning, no final photograph, no voice saying, remember this, you'll miss it someday, double quotes, you simply live it, and then you move on. Until years later, something reminds you, a song, a smell, an old photograph, a street you haven't visited in years, and suddenly, for a few seconds, you're back there, you're younger, your friends are still around. Nobody has moved away, nobody is too busy, nobody has changed, and for just a moment, life feels simple again. Then something begins to change, not all at once. That's the strange part. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides, we're not friends anymore. Instead, life slowly creates distance. Someone gets a new job. Someone moves to another city. Someone starts a relationship. Someone gets married. Someone has children. Someone becomes focused on building a career. Someone is simply trying to survive. And suddenly, everyone has somewhere else they need to be. The conversations become shorter. The messages become less frequent. The jokes that once lasted all night become a few minutes of small talk. You still care about each other, but you don't know each other's lives anymore. You know they have a job, but you don't know if they're happy. You know they have a partner, but you don't know what they're afraid of. You know where they live, but you don't know what keeps them awake at night. And that's when you realize something painful. You can still love someone without being part of their life anymore. There are friendships that don't end. They simply become memories. And maybe that's harder, because when someone hurts you, you have a reason to leave. When someone betrays you, you can be angry. When someone lies to you, you can walk away. But what do you do when nobody did anything wrong? What do you do when life simply pulled you in different directions? Who do you blame? Your friend, yourself, time, nobody. That's the hardest part. Sometimes there is no villain, just to people who once meant everything to each other, becoming strangers without ever deciding to. And every once in a while, you see their name, maybe on social media, maybe in an old photograph, maybe someone mentions them, and you wonder, do they ever think about me too? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. You'll probably never know. Growing up also changes the way we experience loneliness. When you're young, loneliness is usually obvious. You don't have anyone to play with. You don't have someone to call. You sit alone and you know you're lonely. But adulthood is different. You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. You can sit in a crowded restaurant and feel invisible. You can go to work every morning and talk to dozens of people, then come home and realize you haven't had one meaningful conversation all day. You can have hundreds of followers, thousands of friends online, messages, waiting on your phone, and still feel like nobody really knows you, because being around people isn't the same as being understood. That's what loneliness really is. Not simply having nobody around, but having nobody you feel safe enough to tell the truth to. Nobody you can call at 2 in the morning. Nobody you can sit beside in silence. Nobody who notices that your "I'm fine" doesn't sound like your usual "I'm fine." And sometimes, you don't even know how to ask for that person. So, you become good at pretending. You learn how to smile when you're tired. You learn how to say, "I'm good." You learn how to answer, "Everything's okay." You become independent. You stop asking for help. You stop telling people when something hurts. And eventually, everyone starts believing you're okay, even you, until one night, you're alone with your thoughts, and everything you've been ignoring comes back. That's when you realize how exhausting it is to always be the strong one. But growing up isn't only about losing people. Sometimes, you lose yourself too. Think about the person you were 10 years ago. What did they dream about? What made them excited? What did they believe their life would look like? Maybe you wanted to travel the world. Maybe you wanted to become an artist. Maybe you wanted to start a business. Maybe you simply wanted a peaceful life with people you loved. And then life happened. Bills came, responsibilities came, failure came, heartbreak came. People disappointed you. Some dreams became impossible. Others simply stopped feeling important. And slowly, you became someone you never expected to become. Sometimes, you look at an old photograph of yourself, and it almost feels like you're looking at a stranger. You recognize the face, but not the person behind it. You wonder when you stopped being that carefree. When did everything become so serious? When did you stop getting excited about little things? When did weekends become something you spent recovering from the week? When did your dreams become responsibilities? When did life stop feeling like something you were experiencing and start feeling like something you were simply surviving? Maybe that's another kind of loneliness, missing someone who is still alive, missing yourself. But here's something nobody tells you. You don't have to become the person you used to be. You don't need to go backward. Maybe you simply need to find the parts of yourself you abandoned along the way. The curiosity, the excitement, the ability to laugh at stupid things, the courage to try something without knowing whether you'll succeed. Maybe growing up isn't about becoming someone completely different. Maybe it's about becoming yourself again, but wiser. Eventually, you learn something important. Being alone isn't always the same as being lonely. At first, silence can feel uncomfortable. You reach for your phone, you scroll, you look for someone to talk to, anything to avoid being alone with your thoughts. But eventually, you begin to understand yourself. You start taking yourself out. You walk without needing someone beside you. You eat alone. You watch the sunset alone. You travel somewhere alone. And at first, it feels strange, then peaceful. You realize you don't need another person to make every moment meaningful. You can enjoy your own company. You can sit quietly without feeling like something is missing. And that's when being alone becomes a choice instead of a punishment. You also begin to understand that people will come and go. Some will stay for years. Some will stay for months. Some will only be in your life for a few weeks. But that doesn't make those relationships meaningless. A person doesn't have to stay forever to have changed your life. Some people are chapters, some are entire stories, some are lessons, and some are memories you'll carry for the rest of your life. You don't have to hate someone just because they aren't in your life anymore. You don't have to forget someone just because you've moved on. You can be grateful. You can miss them, you can remember them, and still continue walking forward. And maybe the most beautiful thing about growing up is realizing that your story isn't finished. You may have lost friends. You may have experienced heartbreak. You may have outgrown people. You may feel like everyone else has found their place while you're still trying to figure out yours. But you're not finished. There are people you haven't met yet, places you haven't seen, conversations you haven't had, memories you haven't created. There are people somewhere in the world who will understand the version of you that nobody else did. People who won't make you question whether they care. People who will call. People who will stay. People who will notice when your voice changes. People who won't require you to pretend. And one day, you might sit across from someone like that. You'll talk for hours. You'll laugh. You'll tell them things you've never told anyone. And you'll realize this is what connection was supposed to feel like. Not confusion. Not constantly wondering where you stand. Not chasing someone for their attention. Just peace. So if you're lonely right now, don't assume this is how your story ends. You might simply be between chapters. And sometimes, the quietest chapters come right before the most important ones. So if you're growing up right now, and you feel like everyone is moving forward without you, take a breath. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not failing at life. You're simply becoming someone you haven't met yet. Some people will leave. Let them. Some friendships will become memories. Be grateful for them. Some dreams will change. Let them change. And if you feel lonely, remember that loneliness is a feeling. It isn't a prediction of your future. You haven't met everyone who will love you yet. You haven't experienced all the moments that will make you smile again. There are still sunsets you've never seen, songs you've never heard, places you've never visited, people you've never met, stories you haven't lived. So keep going, even if you're moving slowly, even if you don't know where you're going. Keep going, because one day you might look back at this lonely version of yourself and realize something. You weren't lost, you were becoming, and maybe that's what growing up really is. Losing pieces of who you were until you finally discover who you're meant to be. If you're listening to this alone tonight, I hope you know one thing. You are not the only one who feels this way. Someone else is awake right now. Someone else is staring at the ceiling. Someone else is wondering if life will ever feel different. Maybe they're listening too. So if nobody has asked you today, I'll ask you, are you okay? Really okay? And if the answer is no, that's okay. You don't have to figure everything out tonight. Just stay. Tomorrow is another chapter. And your story is not over yet. Can you hear me?